And since we're on verbal, you'll like this. Do a quick comic book story. So because the comic books live to feed the MCU now, that's the only reason they exist, is to give MCU proving ground stories. And because Ms. Marvel is the first mutant in the MCU,
which is some bullshit,
they are now going to retcon all of the greatest Claremont X-Men runs to have her in them. So she is now a part of the Dark Phoenix story, and she is with the team in Giant Size X-Men #1 when they went to rescue the old team. She was now a core member of the X-Men.
That's ridiculous.
Retconned.
That's ridiculous.
Wow.
Why are they doing this?
I don't know. But I got to tell you, when I first read this, it pissed me off. Maybe that's why. Because they want to piss you off. And they've always kind of lived by that. But this is just too much. This is bullshit. Leave the old stuff alone.
Dude, her and Miles Morales are the worst things that happened to Marvel, like, ever.
Yeah, but at least they didn't retcon him to go help him find Uncle Ben's killer or some shit. This is blasphemy.
I don't know, man.
Look at this. Let me pull up this giant size. Like, wait, did you see this?
Look at the
Because you've got that book too, giant size.
I have that issue. Hell yeah.
It's one of my favorite books of all time.
I have the omnibus too.
Isn't this a ripoff of an old cover too, with Captain America carrying? No,
this is
Scott's carrying her.
Scott, yeah. That's so ridiculous.
Got it. Check this out, man. Oh, hold on. Let me open this in a new tab, so you can see. This is going to be one of the variants.
It's like they're forcing us to like accept her.
Wait till you see this. I know. I hate it. Like, at least I could always go back and read, and you still can, but forever in the history, if you ever pick up a comic now, an X-Men comic,
here, look at this shit.
She is now in that lore.
Wow.
That is some bullshit.
Whoa.
And look how much of the cover she takes up. Her cape even goes across the X-Men, like the title.
That's crazy. Man.
Yeah.
She's like bigger than Colossus.
They have her positioned as the most important character in the group. Because she's in the center, man. That's where you put the most important character.
This is by
Of course it was. Man, why are you doing
Fuck
this?
their stupid shit.
What is I guess the point is they want to make her super popular because she's going to be on whatever that MCU X-Men team is. She's on it.
It's so
you know what's crazy though?
dumb.
Like her show didn't do well at all, right?
No.
The
Neither
Avengers
did the movie.
the Avengers video game where they made her the lead. Now wrap your mind around that. An Avengers video game where they made her the lead. completely failed.
It's so stupid.
Completely failed. Right? They have lost money after money after money on this girl, and they're still trying to make her happen.
Like you can't. And
Well,
a lot of people
one of
say
those
she's
things-
ripping off Mr. Fantastic, but what she's really doing, actually, is ripping off Luffy from One Piece. Doing the giant arms, the fists, like he does and shit. Like
Stretchy,
Marvel they'll never get this, and I'll never understand. Like it's not the powers that make the character popular. Like they are still trying to replicate Spider-Man, giving all these people spider powers. That doesn't make it. Peter Parker is why that character is popular. It's not so much the spider powers, but they keep thinking they can just take these powers and make it cool, and they do this all the time with their runs. Now we'll give Miles Morales can turn invisible. He's got a venom blast. He can make energy swords now. I guess they turned him into a vampire also recently. You can't just giving him thousands of powers isn't going to make him popular.
Don't forget they made him out as Guardian too at some point.
Oh, yeah. That was a What If comic, yeah.
Oh, it was. Okay. I thought, I mean, who knows these days with Marvel, so.
It's not the powers that make these characters, like, popular. They don't understand that. You can't make a female Luffy, which is what they thought they could do here.
Who's going to buy this shit?
Not me.
Like, who is this for?
Sorry, which superhero were you just talking about, Flash? Were you talking about Falcon?
What?
Sorry, just because of what you said about how all the powers are coming in, I've kind of lost track of what you were saying, but they kind of did the same thing with Falcon. in this Captain America movie.
They did.
They gave him
yeah.
Iron Man powers. They
They
gave
gave him a
everyone's powers.
vibranium suit and Ant-Man's helmet.
It doesn't make
all
the
this shit.
character good. What would have made that character good is like maybe him fighting some kind of Hydra cell or something like that. Would have been like the perfect story for Falcon.
You know who
But,
would have
like,
been the perfect
Instead, they try
villain?
and give him everybody's powers and make him overpowered, go up against the Hulk without super serum. But because he's got all Tony's armor and anyway, go on.
No, I was gonna say, I mean, the perfect villain for that Captain America movie would have been the Taskmaster if they didn't screw it up already.
Yeah, that's true. That is actually a really good villain to go up
Is
against.
the Taskmistress now?
Ugh.
The Taskmistress.
No, but Sam Wilson versus the Taskmaster would have been a better story.
I agree.
Yeah, the only character who isn't a human. Well, never mind. I forgot the point I was going to make. But this is
Sorry.
This is stupid, and
They are mutants, though.
I'm kind of blown away that they're willing to with X-Men on that level to take like that Claremont run is probably one of the greatest runs in all of comics.
That's a legendary run, man.
Yeah.
Like, that's insane.
One of the best shit. Now they're just inserting her. I guess they're going to do a whole bunch of these books, inserting her and retelling the old stories. There's going to be a whole bunch of like books of them. Like, okay, well here's the new version of the Dark Phoenix saga with Kamala Khan.
So it's not like they're wiping out any other character. They're just adding her into the story.
They're adding her into the story
and trying to make her relevant.
Very established storylines.
I know. It's so ridiculous. Oh man, it's just they're setting themselves up for failure. And the funny thing is after so long of pushing it, like Verbal was saying earlier, they can't see it. They can't even see it now. How many years into making Kamala Khan, making Miss Marvel? Have we been, 5 years?
Well,
this character, I don't even know when
she's been around since 2016, I think.
Yeah.
She's relatively pretty new.
So coming up to 10 years.
The funny thing is they'll still probably have Thunderbird die in the first issue, except now, he wouldn't be the only brown skin guy on the team, right? Because now they have her. So now there's 2 brown skin people.
And that's all that matters.
I'm sorry, 3 because of Storm, but you get my point. Now
one of the greatest black characters in all of existence in Storm.
Oh man, I really want them to make Storm like this really white, red-headed woman, so that when we complain about it, it's like, see, we want the black character to stay black.
They don't know what to do with her. They're afraid to touch her.
Yeah,
probably because they're afraid of being called racist or something.
Oh yeah,
because they always I think Kitty. Who's the leader of the X-Men?
I think Cynthia Erivo's going to play her.
Dude,
no, they made that. So Rogue is like the leader of one of the X-Men teams now, and Storm's on that team, I think.
I haven't read a current X-Men book in
why is it Storm leading the team? If it's not Scott Summers leading the team, it should be
Storm. It's got to be Storm.
But they're afraid to put her front and center because they don't want. They're afraid because they don't want to piss off black people.
Dude, the last X-Men I read was Grant Morrison's run, and that was like mid 2000s or early 2000s.
All new X-Men.
Yeah. Like
that's the one where they're in the jackets and stuff.
Yeah, that's the last run that I read. Yeah,
that's a good run though.
It's a
lot of people don't like it, but I there's mixed things on that, but I like that run.
Oh, Grant Morrison's one of my favorite.
That's with Cassandra Cain.
Yeah,
and when they leveled Genosha.
Yeah, that was wild, man.
X-Men 97 took some stuff from that.
That was such a good show.
Yeah, and Cassandra Cain was of course in Daredevil and Wolverine.
You've also got
Deadpool and Wolverine.
Bishop. You've also got Bishop.
I like Bishop fine, but the best
Bishop wasn't around.
The best black character is Storm. I mean, you want to go down she's a great character.
100%.
She has great things about
You can't say that, Flash, because she's female as well. That's whoa. You can't
the whole
say
claustrophobia
that.
thing is cool, and she's a complicated character. Bishop's good too, but I Storm's a better character than him.
That's
just my opinion.
I think Bishop is good in small doses.
I think Nightcrawler is one of the best characters.
Nightcrawler's one of my favorite X-Men, if not my favorite. I love Nightcrawler.
He's an awesome character.
They've him up too. They've them all up, man.
You got Jubilee.
Jubilee's okay. She's far from my favorite.
She got screwed out of
Fucking
every. She got screwed out of every movie though, which is kind of funny.
She kind of
Yeah,
did
she
too. And it's
Yeah.
so funny that the first episodes of like the animated show are like all her.
I know. What's crazy though is she filmed scenes in every film, and they cut every single one.
Whole first season.
Well, Jubilee was meant to be your. She's like the man out of the room. Like you're learning about the X-Men through her because she doesn't know that. Like that was the point of Jubilee.
Yeah, but they gave it to Rogue instead.
Oh, in the movie.
The movies, I mean, yeah.
Yeah. They gave that
true.
part to Rogue. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Because Rogue is just a better character.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, but they didn't really even do a lot of the shit that they did with her in the comics, like her being adopted, like and being with the Brotherhood. Like she was just like a lost kid,
Yeah.
an abandoned
Still,
kid.
that first X-Men movie is pretty cool.
I like the first three. I actually
Yeah.
like a lot of the Fox X-Men
The
movies.
second one's really good.
I
Oh, I
X-Men
know.
1, 2,
One
I
more
even like
than
3. First Class is great.
First class.
Uh,
That's my favorite X-Men movie, actually.
I love that movie.
Days of Future Past.
Days of Future Past is good. It's
Yeah.
the
That was
ones
good.
after that are shit. Was it
Yeah,
Apocalypse?
and
That's a shitty movie.
Dark
Dark
Phoenix.
Phoenix, piece of
But
shit.
even some of the Wolverine movies that they did weren't great. The
Oh, I hate
X-Men,
like
X-Men
I hate-
Origins
X-Men Origins sucks,
sucks.
but Wolverine, the Wolverine, where he's in Japan, I like that one.
I didn't care for
Yeah.
that one.
Oh, I didn't really care for that one very much.
thought it was
I didn't like
fine.
I didn't like the Silver Samurai.
Yeah, they left him up too.
They fucked him up. I didn't like.
I didn't hate that movie. But then, of course, what did we get
I
after
hated
that? We
it.
got Logan, which is a great movie.
Right.
I'm telling you, man, that first Wolverine movie, I would have watched a whole film of just him and Sabretooth like fighting like through wars like throughout the time.
Yeah.
Like the credits
Oh,
at the
man,
start
yeah,
was
I
great.
Yeah, they
Every-
moved through that
whole
so
film with
quickly.
Yeah.
They
That-
could have
that-
done.
that's
They
a
could have
good
actually done like a good trilogy, or maybe even more movies of like a structured Wolverine story moving into
This
like
is-
the X-Men.
This is the only one I haven't seen. Is this any good?
I haven't seen that either.
Now the
Oh,
comic,
I forgot about that
It was
movie.
It's bad.
dude.
the
Yeah.
comic, I love. That's an underrated comic run. Like I have that entire run. The new.
There was
Mutants.
one good thing about it, and that was Magic, who was played
Magic's
by,
great.
played by what's her name? The weird-eyed chick. The one
weird-eyed chick.
from the Mad Max movie that just came out.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. I
And
can
the-
picture
And
in my head.
Furiosa.
Yeah,
Anya
Furiosa.
Taylor-Joy. Yeah.
Yeah.
She looked good in the character. I just never watched it, but
She
I
was
love.
great as Magic, but the movie was
I
bad.
love the New Mutants. The comic is great.
Oh, dude, I have that first run, man.
I've
Great,
got all 100-something issues of that run.
great story, man. But yeah, no, the movie's bad. It's really bad. Like I understand why like they had to reshoot it so much.
Yeah, weren't they all in a mental asylum or something?
It was just really bad. Yeah, I mean, they were almost, some of them were just characters in name only.